Maybe the understanding of catastrophic knee injuries is much different inside NFL circles than it is to the rest of the outside world. Either way, it was a bit shocking to see Dallas Cowboys star DeMarvion Overshown land on ESPN's annual list of the top 10 players at every position at number 8 on its list of the best off-ball linebackers, known by previous generations as inside linebackers. Overshown suffered his second season-ending knee injury in his first 3 seasons in Week 14 of the 2024 season against the Cincinnati Bengals, tearing his ACL, PCL, and MCL. Overshown was in the middle of a breakout season and through 13 games had 90 tackles, 5.0 sacks, 8 TFL, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 4 pass deflections, and 1 interception return for a touchdown. Overshown tore his ACL in the second preseason game of his rookie year in 2022, and there's been no timetable given for his return, although he told the Dallas Morning News' Calvin Watkins he could rejoin the Cowboys in Week 13 for their Thanksgiving Day game against the Kansas City Chiefs. There's been no official word from the Cowboys on when he might return. Overshown needed only 12 NFL games to convince a healthy number of voters that he's a high-impact linebacker, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler wrote on July 15th. Multiple voters have serious concerns about whether Overshown can maintain a consistent NFL career because of the damage already done. San Francisco 49ers linebacker and 4-time NFL All-Pro Fred Warner, who has only missed 1 game in his first 5 seasons, was number 1 in ESPN's rankings for the second year in a row. Overshown made positions switch in college. Overshown, 6'2" and 220 pounds, moved from safety to linebacker at the University of Texas, where he earned all Big 12 honors with a career-high 96 tackles in 2022. The Cowboys drafted Overshown in the 3rd round, number 90 overall, of the 2023 NFL Draft after he ran the 40-yard dash in 4.56 seconds at the NFL Scouting Combine. He signed a 4-year, $5.39 million rookie contract. Former safety-turned-linebacker who has slowly but surely improved his feet and recognition over the last 3 seasons, NFL draft analyst Lance Zierlein wrote about Overshown before the 2023 draft. Whether playing inside or outside, Overshown will need to get stronger and more effective at taking on blockers and tackling with security. Cowboys have one of NFL's weakest ILB groups. It's hard to feel much confidence when looking at the off-ball linebackers currently on the roster. Even with Overshown in the fold, history tells us players coming off 2 major knee injuries in 3 years don't usually return to their same level of production. When the Cowboys roll out their starting defense on September 4th at the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, the 3 starters at inside linebacker will likely be Kenneth Murray Jr., Jack Sanborn, and Maris Lofau, who started 9 games as a rookie in 2024. Murray and Sanborn were both offseason additions. Murray started 14 games for the Tennessee Titans in 2024 and was traded to the Cowboys on March 12th. Sanborn started 19 games over his first 3 seasons with the Chicago Bears and signed a 1-year, $1.5 million contract with the Cowboys the same day as the Murray trade. As the most storied franchise in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys are a team constantly facing high expectations. However, following a lackluster 2024 season, their perception across the league looks a little different heading into training camp. To put it simply, things did not go as the Cowboys wanted last year. Things went off the rails when Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending injury in Week 9 against the Atlanta Falcons. Dallas was unable to recover from this, finishing the year 7-10 and failing to miss the postseason. With Prescott set to be fully healthy by the time this season gets underway, the Cowboys are eager to get back in the hunt in the NFC. Even with the star QB's looming return and their upgrades in the offseason, Dallas is still somehow viewed as an under-the-radar squad heading into the 2025 campaign. On Tuesday morning, Mike Jones of The Athletic put out a list of the most overrated and underrated NFL teams. Despite getting back on track in the offseason, the Cowboys have shockingly been dubbed underrated. As a whole, expectations aren't very high outside of the organization, Jones wrote. But the healthy return of Dak Prescott could dramatically improve an offense that floundered without him last season. The pairing of George Pickens with holdover CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, and tight end Jake Ferguson could make it hard for defenses to key on any one weapon, as long as Pickens can carry himself with maturity. A rebound from last year's 7-10 record and contention with Washington for a playoff spot behind Philadelphia might not be out of the question. Even with how things unfolded last season, the Cowboys aren't a team that should be overlooked. Before Prescott got hurt, he wasn't far removed from an MVP-level campaign. Now that Brian Schottenheimer has been named head coach, the Cowboys star should quickly return to the upper tier of QBs. There are some areas of the roster that leave a lot to be desired, but overall, the Cowboys have the firepower to make some noise in the NFC. Getting back in the mix won't be easy, as the NFC East could be the most competitive division in football this season. That said, with a healthy Prescott and a new dynamic duo of receivers, Dallas is a team many will have to keep an eye on this season. Will the 49ers trade Jawan Jennings to the Dallas Cowboys? The Cowboys need a wide receiver, and the 49ers may have one for them. That's because Jawan Jennings wants the 49ers to give him a contract extension or trade him to a team that will give him the raise he deserves. And if the 49ers opt not to extend his contract, they'll likely trade him to avoid bitter contract drama that could overshadow training camp. And if they do trade him, the Cowboys would be the #1 trade destination, according to Bleacher Report. Trading for Jennings could fill that void and give another player a prolific wide receiver duo to work with during his 21st season. Jennings should be a relatively affordable option, something that should help the Cowboys, who currently have just $24.4 million in salary cap space. According to Spotrac, the wide receiver has an estimated market value of just over $10 million per season, a figure the Cowboys could easily factor into their budgets and still have room to add more players if needed. The Cowboys have plenty of draft capital for next year's draft. This 2026 third-round pick could be used as part of a package that releases Jennings from San Francisco, especially if the Cowboys are willing to give up a backup receiver in the deal. Jennings would be an excellent option for the Cowboys' offense. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, the 49ers really can't afford to trade Jennings for a draft pick and a backup wide receiver. He's too important to their team because he's their best wide receiver. Even when Brandon Ayuk finally returns from his horrific knee injury, there's no guarantee he'll be as good as Jennings, who is one of the toughest wide receivers in the league. I believe the 49ers will extend Jennings' contract in the next 2 weeks.